Let's take a look at this question. Straight line amortization of bond discount or premium. A, can be used for amortization of bond discount or premium in all cases and circumstances. Not necessary. Cannot be used in all. That's not a true statement. Provides the same amount of interest expense each period as the effective interest method. Now, it does not provide, you have to be careful here. The same amount, it's going to be misleading. Each period, it's not the same amount each period. So be careful. It's the same amount, but not each period. Therefore, B is out. Is appropriate for deep discount. It's not appropriate for deep discount. So that's why it's not appropriate in all circumstances. Take this one out. And by process of elimination, D is the answer, but double check to make sure D makes sense to you. Provide the same total amount of interest expense over the life of the bond, as does the effective interest rate. Yes, it does provide the same amount of interest, but not each period over the life of the bond, over 10 years, it's the same amount, but not from period to period. From period to period, they differ. They differ. So the answer is D as in David. Let's take a look at this question. What is the annual stated interest rate on the bond? So you're giving an amortization schedule, and you need to be very familiar with this amortization. You need to be very familiar with this amortization schedule. And this is the cash payment, this is the effective rate, this is the decrease in the balance, and this is the outstanding balance of the bond. I can ask you so many questions about this table. For example, I can ask you, what is the face value of the bond? Well, the face value of the bond is $200,000. I can ask you, is this a premium bond or a discount bond? Well, you need to understand the balance is starting at above the face value. It's a premium bond. I can ask you, here they're asking you, what is the stated rate? What is the stated rate? Well, the stated rate is we're going to find out what the stated rate is. Give me a second. Let's talk about, we'll hold on that. I can ask you, what is the market rate for that bond? Okay, what's the market rate? Well, the market rate is what? The market rate is taking this number, 207,020 times X, well, put X twice, times X should equal to 6,211. So what number, by what rate you multiply 207,020 to get you 6,211? Because this is the interest expense. The interest expense is the bond, beginning of the period, face value times the market rate. And you can find what's the market rate is. They're not asking us about the market rate. They're asking us about the stated rate on the bond. And we know that the stated rate, it's higher than the market rate. Why? Why do we know this? Why do we know this? Because the bond is selling at a premium. So how do we find the stated rate? Well, we're going to take the face value times X gives us the cash payment. This is the stated rate. The stated rate gives us the cash payment. If that's the case, what did we multiply 200,000 by? 200,000 times what? Equal to 7,000. Well, that's equal to 3.5, but you have to be careful. 3.5, but you have to be careful because this rate is, notice the payment is done twice a year. June 30th, December 31st, 2021. Therefore, the rate is 7%. So simply put, if we take 200,000 times 7% times 1/2, that's going to give us 7,000. Therefore, the stated rate is 7%. Now, if I ask you, what is the effective rate or what's the market rate? Well, it's going to be less than 7%. So this is incorrect. It's going to be, I would say, approximately, let's see, the effect. So let's find the effective rate. So 207,020 times X equal to 6,211. X equal to 6,211 divided by 207,020. Let's find what the effective rate is. And I already told you it's going to be less than 7. Why? Because this is a premium bond, but let's find out exactly how much equal to. Let me pull my calculator here. Okay. So 6,211 minus 207,020. Let me reset here. 6211 divided by 207,020. That's equal to 0.03. Remember, I have to multiply this by 2. It's approximately I multiplied by 3, but I have multiplied by 2, so it's approximately 6%. So 0.03300 times, I multiply, notice, by 3. So the answer is, the effective rate is 6%. So what I just said, on this graph alone, I can ask you 10 to 15 different questions. What does that mean? It means you have to have a good understanding about a bond amortization schedule. A bond amortization schedule. And I'm going to disclose something maybe I should not disclose, but maybe due to the passage of time, I'm allowed to disclose it. When I took my CPA exam, I would say long time ago, 2003, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Long time ago, I still remember one of my simulation was to prepare a bond amortization schedule. So expect to know how to prepare a bond amortization schedule on the exam day, whether using the effective interest rate method or the straight line method. And this is what I can help you with. FarhatLectures.com. This is what I can help you with. I can explain these concepts to you in details. So there's a lot of information to know about a bond amortization schedule.
Want to see more CPA exam multiple choice questions solved step by step? At FarhatLectures.com, you will get hundreds of video solved MCQs step by step, including previously released AI CPA questions, previously released AI CPA simulation, in-depth lectures and resources to prepare for the CPA exam, AI tools that's going to help you study smarter, not harder, CPA exam podcast lessons where you can learn on the go. And also you will get the personal guidance of support of Farhat and his team. If you are serious about passing the CPA exam, this is your next step. Visit the website farhatlectures.com, start your free trial, and I hope to see you on the website.